Welcome to Azeroth United, a weekly podcast about World of Warcraft. My name is Denethar, and I am your host.
Welcome, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today. It is Tuesday, April 23rd, and this is episode 32 of Azeroth United. We have a great show lined up for you today. We'll be covering Dragonflight Season 4, the release dates for patch 2.7, and WoW Remix Mists of Pandaria. We've got character transfers from Season of Discovery and some hot fixes there. We've got Season 3 recap from Raider.io and a little bit of War Within news, but we'll get into more of that next week. So pull up a chair, sit back, relax, and enjoy. And as always, if you have any questions or comments about the podcast, or if you have a particular topic that you would like to hear discussed, please email me at denethar1 or gmail.com, or you can leave a voice message by going to speakpipe.com/AzerothUnited. Also, if you enjoy the show, please consider leaving us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts. That helps out our distribution tremendously, so if you're inclined to do so, we'd be very grateful. Before I get to the news, I wanted to do a quick rundown of what I got up to last week in WoW. I mostly did Season 4 prep. I ran some keys, nothing too much, and tried to get everybody prepped. I didn't want to lose a bunch of flight stones, just have them disappear into the ether. I wasn't sure if they were going to cash them out or what that was going to look like. So I spent a bunch of flight stones upgrading gear. Not that it's going to matter too much in the long run, but I wanted to at least feel like I was getting my money's worth. Like, I earned these damn flight stones. So yeah, that's mostly what I think I did. 14 is the highest I did on my Fury Warrior. But yeah, it's I got my my second druid, who was already level 70, but I tried to get him a little bit of gear and prep for Season 4. I don't know. I'm looking at the druid stuff in the War Within. It looks pretty cool. I've got two druids, and my main druid is my caster druid, and my second druid is my physical druid. So he's Feral Guardian, and the first guy is Resto Balance. So, but I don't know. Feral Druid is so. It's so hard. Like, I feel like I'm busting my butt, and I'm getting. It's like, oh wow, that's cute that you did 54k DPS, but oh boy, but yeah, just trying to get characters cleaned up, and also trying to figure out who's going to be lined up for the War Within. So I have to have a stable of alts. It's just the way I operate. So I've got to make sure everybody's in good place for Season 4. Got to make sure everybody's in good place for the War Within. So, but yeah, I didn't run too many. I think I did a couple of Raid Finder, and that's about it on the Druid and maybe on the Hunter. But yeah, so that's about that for me as far as what I got up to last week. Like I said, not a terribly busy week, but just having some fun. And I wish that there wasn't so much junk to go through every time you want to go clean up your characters, because I got all the crafting mats, and I've got all the currencies that don't go in the currency tab that are sitting in my bag. I've got quest items. I'm like, I don't even remember what quest this is for, and trying to get everybody cleaned up. So anyway, all right, that's enough of that. We have a lot to talk about, so let's get into it.
It's time for the news.
In Blizzard news, patch 10.2.7 Dark Heart has been announced to release on May 7th. That's just 2 short weeks, folks. And with it will come the quest line for the Harbinger quests for, I guess, tracking down Xal'atath. We'll find out. Some UI improvements, and the World of Warcraft remix Mists of Pandaria, which will open on the 16th of May. So it's not going to launch right when the patch comes out. It'll come out, but it looks like on a Thursday, a week later. So that's pretty cool. Other 10.2.7 features, we were going to get the Troll and Draenei Heritage armor, which will be really cool. And then there's supposed to be a holiday update, which we don't really have a lot of info on. So, yeah, pretty exciting. So interesting point about this one. On the War Within Alpha, there was noticed that the Miss Pandaria Remix was scheduled to launch on May 16th, which is what happened. And also on the alpha, it's scheduled to end on August 19th. Now, I'm not saying that that's going to be the end of Dragonflight, but I think that's going to be the end of Dragonflight. And I honestly think that might be expansion launch. We might get an expansion in August. It could also be the pre-patch. We could go WoW Remix until pre-patch, although that's 3 months of patch 10.2.7, so I don't know if Blizzard are willing to do that. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. But yeah, I would kind of start looking at the end of August on your calendar for, maybe take some vacation or see what your schedule is, see how much PTO you've got saved up in your job. Yeah, it's getting real, folks. It's getting real. Like I said, I'm not going to get too much into the alpha today, but because we've got so much season 4 to talk about. But there is a little bit of alpha. So they've been data mining a lot of stuff on there, on the alpha. And I don't want to go into all the details because I'm going to do a big alpha kind of data mining preview show next week. But I wanted to point that out and just kind of say, it's out there. It's a thing. So, all right. I'm really excited about this patch. I don't know why. It's probably going to disappoint me because, building up my expectations too high. But the Miss Pandaria remix was really fun when I tried it out on the PTR. But I played a warlock, and I was like, well, if it's going to be a new character, I'll make a warlock. That way I'll have my warlock at level 70. Turns out you actually have to play the character, and there's a reason that I don't play a warlock, because I don't have fun with playing a warlock. So, yeah, I didn't really get too far on that. But, we'll see. We'll see how it goes. I mean, maybe I'll just make a paladin or a warrior or something next time. So, all right. Moving on. The Blizzard have announced limited free character transfers on Season of Discovery from PvP to normal realms. So, basically what they're saying is they've worked really hard to keep the faction balance really tight, so that no one faction feels like they are owning a server, which is good. But within that, you have people who are like, oh, I wanted to be on a server where it was Horde dominated or Alliance dominated. And they don't like the constantly having to have balanced PvP aspect of being on a balanced PvP server. So the people who thought they wanted PvP, you think you do, but you don't on a PvP server. So they're going to set up some transfers for those people to PvE servers or normal servers. Now, the trick is they have to do it very nimbly and very quickly because they don't want a mass exodus of one faction to a normal realm. Mostly Alliance, because let's be honest, the Alliance are the ones that are going to transfer off. Horde are like, oh, PvP. And Alliance is like, oh, I just want to quest in peace. So, look, I play Alliance, so I can say that. So they're going to start this today, and they will open and close transfers quickly, so that they don't open a floodgate of transfers. And it might be from this realm to that realm, or from that realm to this realm, or we don't know. And they're going to keep it kind of close to the vest because they might have to change it at a moment's notice. So we'll see. I started on a normal server because I'm like, I don't like to PvP. And I was pretty happy on there while I was playing on Season of Discovery. So I have not completely given up on Season of Discovery, like I said, but maybe an influx of PvPers will kind of mix up the dynamic of the server. I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, so if you are on a PvP server, Season of Discovery, and you're like, man, I really wish I had rolled on a normal server, now's your chance. So keep an eye on the Blizzard announcements to see when you are eligible for a transfer. And these are free transfers. I think I said that, but I wanted to make sure it was clear. These are free transfers. This is not a $15. These are the free ones. So, all right. Okay, so Raider.io has been doing this season recap, and they've got this tool that goes through and gives you a bunch of fun little info about your account and your characters and what you did in the season, both in Raid and in Mythic Plus. So they've got a new one for the season 3 recap. It's actually kind of nice. I did it so I've got 2 accounts, and I did it on mine, and it gave me some interesting insights. I didn't run a billion keys, so and it was really obvious. It's like, okay, well, my top 3 characters were my Fury Warrior, my Havoc Demon Hunter, and my Mistweaver Monk, which are all the characters I got KSM with. So, it's pretty clear, and it does go through and get your information and spit you out a nice little presentation. So something you can share with your friends. Maybe they want to do it. It's pretty cool. It's a nice little fun summary of what you did in season 3. And no doubt there will be one for season 4. So if you see your season 3 recap and you're not happy with it, you could stack the deck for season 4 and you go, here's how I'm going to do my recap. I'm going to run with all monks or druids or whatever. So yeah, it's but there will be a link to that in the show notes, and yeah, definitely go check that out. You do have to link your Battle.net account to Raider.io, which is fine. You can do that. It'll just send you to, it's just going to grab the API from your Battle.net account. So basically, it'll launch Battle.net, you will log in, and then it'll pass that login token back to Raider.io so that it can grab your info. It's not taking your account or anything. Don't worry. It's fine. All right. That's it for the non-War Within news. And like I said, I'm going to kind of accumulate all of the information that we've picked up about the War Within the last week and this coming week, and do a big extravaganza show talking about all the new things that have been data mined, all the things that have been seen on the alpha, kind of what the state of the alpha is. I wish I could get onto it, but unfortunately I did not get an invite. So I'll just keep checking my inbox, waiting for that, waiting for the invite. But in the meantime, I'm living vicariously through others and gathering data through others as well. So I will be putting together a kind of, here's where we are next week for next week's show. All right, let's move on to this week in World of Warcraft.
Let's talk about World of Warcraft.
In Dragonflight, this is season 4, week 1. Yay! Yeah, we got a new season. It's actually not here yet because the servers are down as I'm recording this, but by the time you listen to this, it will most likely be up and running. So you'll be able to get in there and see all the things that I missed or didn't explain correctly or whatever. But yeah, Dragonflight season 4, week 1. There's some things that we know that is going on this week, but there's going to be a lot of other things that we don't really know anything about, and we won't until the servers come up. So first off, if we are following the affix schedule from season 3, then this week will be Tyrannical, Storming, and Raging. But we don't know if that's going to be the case. Are they going to change the affix schedule, which affixes are paired with which other affixes, and because don't forget, we're plus 10 now is the third affix. So I don't know. We'll have to see how the interactions go. But like I said, if it follows the same schedule as before, it's Tyrannical, Storming, and Raging. So Tyrannical bosses have 30% more health and deal 15% more damage. Storming, tornadoes spawn around enemy creatures while in combat, and Raging, non-boss enemies enrage at 30% health, becoming immune to crowd control other than interrupts. Not a terrible week. It's not fun. I mean, Storming is never fun, but Tyrannical is, it'll be really interesting to see how Tyrannical operates when the first one you do is basically a plus 12. So I'm kind of curious to see what we do with this. But yeah, anyway, Storming and Raging are, Raging is fine. It used to be really annoying when the mobs did more damage, but now they just become immune to crowd control. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So you can interrupt them, but you can't stun them. You can't do a hard CC. You can't dazed, anything like that, unless it's a true interrupt, kick, counter shots, that sort of thing. Mind freeze. You're not going to be able to stop a caster from doing what they want to do because you can't stun them. You can't anything. So I don't even think you can use like a typhoon to bump them out of the way. I'm not sure about that. I guess I'll have to try that one day. All right. Anyway, but it's tyrannical week, so the trash should die pretty fast. So even at 30% health, when they enrage, they'll die really quickly after that. So I wouldn't worry about it too much. If this the affix combo. Now again, we don't know. This could be something completely different. They haven't said what it's going to be, or at least I haven't seen anywhere where they have the schedule listed out. So we'll find out when we log into the game later today. All right, the bonus event for the week is the Burning Crusade Time Walking event. So you'll get the Sign of the Twisting Nether buff, which gives you Burning Crusade reputation from combat and quests increased by 50%. You'll be able to do the dungeons, Time Walking dungeons, Magister's Terrace, Mana Tombs, Blood Furnace, Botanica, Shattered Halls, and the Underbog. Oh, yeah. You know, I ran these dungeons so many times in Burning Crusade, and they're fun, but God, they suck compared to modern dungeons. Just the design differences in old dungeons versus the new ones, these are terrible. They're just awful. They're so sloggy, the trash, and anyway, sorry, that's not the point. Make sure you pick up the quests, and I don't have the name of the quest here in the show notes, but it's from Khazra and Valdrakken, and he's going to ask you to complete 5 time walking dungeons or kill 5 time walking raid bosses. And then you'll get a piece of normal raid gear, which should be champion, and we don't know what raid that's going to be from, if it's going to be from the Amirdrasil, or if it's going to be from whichever one is the Awakened raid, I guess, which would be Vault of the Incarnate, so we don't know. Again, we will find out when we log onto the service later today, but you will get a piece of champion raid gear. Maybe it'll be one of the cool trinkets that drops in the 3 raids. I don't know. And it should be the new plus 39 item level gear for Season 4. So I'm hoping. Sometimes this stuff doesn't all update correctly, but so yes. So there's the 6 dungeons. Plus, you can do the Black Temple Time Walking Raid, which is really fun. If you haven't done that before, definitely check it out. It's a lot easier than the Dragonflight raids. It's designed to be just kind of ran through with a pug group, and it's pretty cool. And then you'll get a quest there to, again, we'll see, but you should be able to get a piece of heroic raid gear. So that would be a hero track from one of the raids. So we'll find out. I like the time walking raids. They're easy, they're fun. You get good gear, and you do get normal gear from the raids as well. So that's champion track gear. So if you want to gear up pretty quickly, and you don't have your Mythic Plus group isn't around or whatever, do some time walking. It's a quick way to get some gear. So, all right, the PvP brawl for the week is classic Ashran. God damn it! Every time. Classic Ashran is an open-ended tug-of-war battleground with special events, blah, 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 blah. Okay, whatever. Look, it's Ashran. If you really want to do Ashran, go do it. This one's not fun. Ashran was not fun back in the day. They were trying to make it really cool, like the old school, not Wintergrasp, what was it called? Alterac Valley. The old school Alterac Valley, where you have to do all these objectives and you're doing stuff, and it sucked. It was just terrible. And it's still terrible as a battleground. But if you want to do the old version, you want to get in there and it's going to take you a couple hours, go ahead and do it. You'll get the quest Something Different, which is to win a PvP brawl, which will reward you with Conquest, Honor, and Marks of Honor. I am so unenthusiastic about this. I can't even pretend to be excited. I'm just giving you the info, and if you decide to make that choice, that's up to you. Okay, moving on. The other events, we have Volunteer Guard Day, which is always fun. You go to a guard in any major city, and you give them a / salute, and then you will get a buff that has you protect the city. And then I guess the more attackers you slay, the better your buff will get. And it's just a fun little thing. It doesn't really mean anything. You don't get anything for it. It's just a cool, fun little activity that you can do. And I do think there might be an achievement. But so if you're looking for Achievement Hunter, I think there's one there. But it's just a cute little something to do. Not everything in WoW has to be about getting gear. Sometimes you could just go do something and it's fun, and you're doing it for fun. So if that's your RP, you wanna be a guard in Shatrath or a guard in Stormwind, Thunderbluff, then go do it. And it's actually kind of fun. It's really neat. Okay. The other event this week is Children's Week. So, yeah, Children's Week is always fun. You get an orphan, take them under your wing, show them the world of Azeroth. This is going to run from... Let me go back for just a second. Volunteer Guard Day is April 28th. So that's this Friday, Sunday. It's this Sunday. I don't know what I'm saying. It's this Sunday. All right, Children's Week. Get an orphan. This is April 29th to May 6th, so it's going to start on Monday. So this will start at the end of this week, but that's fine. So you go pick up the quest, get your orphan, and then if you don't have all the pets from the different years of Children's Week, you might want to check. But there's 4 different ones you can do, or 4 different orphans you can pick up. You can get the kind of OG ones, which is Orgrimmar or Stormwind. You can get the Kultiran or Zandalari orphan, Draenei Blood Elf orphan from Shatrath, or a Wolvar or Oracle orphan from Dalaran. And then there's a whole meta achievement that you can complete that you have to do different things with your orphan and take them to this place and do a quest. And I think there still is PvP objectives that you have to do with your orphan as well, but they did take those out of the meta achievement. But Children's Week is fun. It's one of the OG holidays. Doesn't look like there's any update this year, but it's something to do. Maybe not the best week at the beginning of season because people are going to be pounding Mythic Plus, but you never know. Maybe you want to take a break. You've run too many M Plus. You've yelled at too many Warlocks. So good to go give back and take an orphan out for a little excursion. It's you'll be rewarded with the gift of friendship and loyalty from your little orphan pal. So, all right. That's it for the events for the week. Hot fixes. So they just dropped a whole bunch of hot fixes for Season of Discovery that are going live today. These are all class changes, and I'm not going to go through all of the specific class changes because there's a lot. But the one I wanted to point out is that for Paladins, Seal of Martyrdom can now twist with other seals, including Seal of Command. So what they say here is seal twisting was an interesting emergent effect that became popular during the original Burning Crusade that utilized the slower server messaging system used in early versions of WoW to slightly extend the duration of a Paladin's active seal for a short time whenever a second seal was cast. So if you don't know what seal twisting is, it's basically if you get a swing timer, and I think it's like 0.4 seconds before your swing hits. If you pop another seal, you will hit them with both the previous seal and the new seal that you just popped, if your timing is right. So that's seal twisting. And it's just a way to increase your damage as a paladin, ret paladin, or a prop paladin. This effectively will allow paladins to momentarily gain the benefit of 2 seals at once if they time the application of a new seal to line up perfectly just before their weapon swing. This is something we would have considered a bug at the time, but for many players it became a popular feature of the class, allowing skilled players to increase their output with precision gameplay. We recreated this playstyle in Burning Crusade Classic, and since then it's been a popular request in other versions of original WoW, including Season of Discovery. We had concerns about allowing Martyrdom and Command specifically to be twisted together in Season of Discovery for a variety of reasons, including the fact that the playstyle is highly mana inefficient. It largely requires add-ons such as a weapon swing timer to function properly, and twisting can be unintuitive for less experienced players. As the game matures and we continue to listen to player feedback, however, we recognize that for some, this is part of the charm and uniqueness of playing a paladin during these early eras of WoW's history. We consider this change to be experimental, and we will watch with the performance and behavior of retribution closely after this change. Should it prove problematic, we may revert this change or apply additional adjustments later. Okay, so seal twisting is fun, but it sucks because it's, I mean, you talk about micromanaging your playstyle. That is micromanaging to the extreme. And they're not wrong. It's horribly mana inefficient. You've got to chug mana potions to make it work. So, I mean, if this is something you want to try out, it's going to increase your damage. It is. Especially Seal of Martyrdom is going to hit hard. Because it used to be you did it with Seal of Command and like Seal of Righteousness or whatever. But Seal of Martyrdom hits hard too. So, yeah, I don't know. I mean, this is it's cool, I guess, that they're putting it in there, and yeah, people are going to do it. People are going to want to. People are going to expect you to do it. So if you're a paladin and you don't know how to seal twist, I might. If I were you, I might check out a video on YouTube. I would look at, there's a video from Esfand. I'll see if I can find it. And if I can, I'll put it in the show notes, where he gets really good. I don't particularly care for Esfand as a streamer and a content creator. But in this particular case, he had a very helpful video explaining seal twisting in a very clear and concise manner. So if I can find that video, I'll put it in the show notes. But yeah, it's well, you know, that's how it goes. And they also said down here for Shaman, talking about the elemental shamans, we've received a lot of feedback about the overall usability of mental dexterity, particularly for elemental shamans. The ability was not intended to be used by elementals, so the adjustments we've made are to help ensure its usage is a bit more enhancement-centric. To compensate, we've increased the output and usability of the burn rune, and with a slight quality of life improvement in the form of a flame shock duration increase, which allows 2 lava bursts to be cast within a single flame shock duration. This is not likely to be enough overall bring elemental up to the level we want, so we intend to continue making other tactical adjustments and future class adjustment updates as needed. See, I like the fact that they are being very careful with some of these updates. But like I said last week, I'm really disappointed by Season of Discovery overall, because it is becoming more and more complicated. So, that's going to require them to be more and more careful as they are going through and making these adjustments. So, and then finally, they say in the weeks to come, we're carefully planning for more adjustments to hunters, mages, shamans, and warlocks in future updates. We really appreciate the feedback we've received since the start of Phase 3, and look forward to sharing more about our next round of adjustments with you soon. So there you go. Look, if you're happy with Season of Discovery, great. Play it and have a good time, and know that they are making a lot of changes to make the game fun. So if this is your jam and you're having a good time, great. I'm happy for you. This isn't what I wanted when I signed up for Season of Discovery, but that's okay. I'm perfectly happy playing retail right now. So, all right. That's going to do it for this week in World of Warcraft. Let's move on to something new.
Let's talk about something new.
All right, let's talk about Dragonflight Season 4. So this is a very similar, if you were playing in Shadowlands and you remember the Fated Season 4, this is a very similar thing. We're going to have kind of a remix or a greatest hits of Dragonflight as we go through all the raids and all the dungeons from Dragonflight. So I'm just going to go through all the different features and discuss everything, and and we'll go from there. First up, raids. So every week during Dragonflight Season 4, one of the 3 Dragonflight raids will become Awakened. So they're calling it Awakened this time instead of Fated, but it's the same thing. There will be a reputation buff for the factions that are associated with that particular raid. So when it's Vault of the Incarnates, we're going to get Sign of Awakened Storms, which will give a reputation buff for Dragonscale Expedition, Marug Centaur, and Iskara Tuskar. When it's Aberrus, they're going to get Sign of the Awakened Embers, which is Loam Niffin, Soradormi, and Sibelian or Rathian, which I find kind of interesting since they were in the Season 1. But it makes sense to put them with Aberrus reputation. And then finally, when it's a Mirdrasil, we'll get Sign of Awakened Dreams, which will reward reputation with Dream Wardens and Valdrakken Accord. So there you go. So they're just kind of spreading out the love. When all raids are awakened, all of the reputations are going to have increased. You're going to get reputation faster because it's worded very poorly. So yeah, if you have not maxed out your reputation for any of those factions, then definitely make sure you take advantage when it's that particular week. All 3 raids will drop a new tier token to exchange for new tier pieces with the appearance and set bonus combinations that players voted for. So yeah, whatever your class and spec is, players voted on this a few months ago, and most of them got pretty good results based on the vote. I know that I'm really happy to be getting the Season 2 set bonus back for the Fury Warrior, because I really liked that one. I do not like the Season 3 set bonus. It was not my favorite. So for the class and spec combinations that are getting the Season 3 set bonus returning, the new Season 4 set will not stack, or you will not be able to put a full set together with the Season 3 set. It's a new set. Even though the set bonuses are the same, it is considered a new set. So you can't mix and match from Season 3 to the new Season 4 set. This is a brand new tier set. So just in case you were like, well, I'll hold on to my Season 3 gear. And no, it's not going to work that way. Okay. Players will earn 1 antique bronze bullion a week per character by defeating awakened bosses. We don't know how many bosses, but we know that we will get 1 per week. The cap of bullion that we can earn will rise by 1 each week. So you'll be able to, if you miss a week of raid, the cap's just going to go up. So you'll be able to get 2 the next week or whatever. So it's not like you're going to miss out if you miss a week of raid. And then you can exchange those for 2 bullion. You'll be able to purchase a weapon or a powerful item like a trinket from the vendors in Valdrakken. So yeah, this is the new deterministic system for getting loot. You're only going to be able to get so many. And there's other things that you can buy with these currency, like there's a mount and some raid weapon appearances, which cost 1. The mount's going to cost 3. So, if you remember that you get 1 per week, so 3 bullions is 3 weeks worth of raids for the Jigglesworth Senior Mount, 2 bullion for the weapons, that's 2 weeks worth. So within the first 2 weeks, you should be able to get a brand new weapon or a brand new trinket. But speaking of which, the legendaries, so you can get it to drop from raid, but if you got it in Season 3 or Season 2, you'll be able to upgrade it with the purchase of the Scale of Awakening, which is going to cost 2 bullion. And that'll upgrade your item to Season 4 item levels, which will be 502, and then you can upgrade it all the way to 535 with crests and flight stones. So if you got your Fearloth, have no worries. You'll be able to upgrade it, and you'll still be a badass as long as you're a paladin. If you're a Fury Warrior, then I'm sorry. That's just how it goes. There's going to be a new mount for completing all 3 Awakened Dragonflight raids on normal difficulty. You'll get the Voyaging Wilderling dynamic flying mount. So this is a new dragon riding style mount that you'll get, and it's kind of cool. It looks like an Ardenweald type mount with different coloring. So anyway, if you complete all of the Awakened raids on heroic difficulty, you'll get a new title, Awakened Hero. And if you complete the raid on mythic difficulty, if you complete all the Awakened raids on mythic difficulty, you will get path portals to the 3 raids. So I don't know if it's 1 per. Like if you go, well, I did Vault Mythic, but I didn't do Aberrus or Emirgersil. Do you get the Vault portal? I'm not sure. But you will get portals to the raids, which I think is really cool. So obviously I'm not doing it on Mythic, but if I was, that'd be really cool. All right, so that's it for raids. They were originally going to have the raids rotate to have 2 weeks per raid. So 2 weeks of Vault, then 2 weeks of Aberrus, then 2 weeks of Emirgersil. And then all raids would become Awakened. Now they're doing 1 week per, so I don't know if it's just going to be 3 weeks and then all of them are Awakened, or if it's going to be 6 weeks still. Again, we will have to see how that goes. All right, for Mythic Plus, so we're going to go all of the original 8 Dragonflight dungeons. That's Ruby Life Pools, Breckenhead Hollow, No Code Offensive, Oldemon, Legacy of Tyr, Neltharis, Azure Vault, Halls of Infusion, and Algathar Academy. And don't forget that this is the new Mythic Plus system, so it will be, or the new dungeon system really is more accurate. Heroic will drop Adventurer track gear and will reward Veteran gear in the vault, and then Mythic 0, which will be about the difficulty of last season's Mythic 10. That will drop champion gear and award hero in the vault. So Mythic 0s are going to be very useful for gearing up, especially early on in the season. But once you get to the Myth Track gear, then obviously it's not going to be as exciting to run the Mythic 0s. The Dawn of the Infinite Mega Dungeon is not part of this, but it will be one of the Mythic Zeros. So you'll be able to run it Mythic Zero, but you won't be able to run it Mythic Plus, is what I'm trying to say. And then the Mythic Plus track will only go up to plus 10 as far as rewards go. After that, you can keep going, but you won't get anything different as far as rewards. You'll get... we'll get into all the rewards and everything down in a little bit, but... as far as the Keystone Master Mount is the Infinite Armordon. So you'll get that for KSM. I'm assuming that's going to be about the same, which is running 4s and 5s. But again, we'll have to see how the scoring goes with the new Mythic Plus system. You can earn the title The Draconic after obtaining Dragonflight Keystone Conqueror Season 4. When you reach a Mythic Plus rating of 1500 during Dragonflight Season 4, so that's pretty cool. And then the Draconic Hero, which is your plus, it's the top 0.1%. This season, I think it was like 3679, so we'll see how that goes for Season 4. In PvP, so the season, obviously everything's going to reset for PvP Season 4, but you'll be able to earn the Vicious Dream Talon, the Horde or Alliance version, depending on your faction, for Rated Arena and Rated Battlegrounds, and the Draconic Gladiator's Drake and Draconic Gladiator title for earning the Draconic Gladiator Dragonflight Season 4 achievement. In addition, the Draconic Legend will be the 0.1% of Solo Shuffle ladder, so if that's the title that you want, then every day you better be shuffling. Sorry, that's a terrible callback. All right, so let's talk about item levels, crafting, and Great Vault rewards. So the item levels are going to go up, 39 item levels for equivalent pieces. So in other words, your Explorer gear, rank 1 of 8, is going to be a 454, which is it's a lot more. It's a lot more than what we had. Last season, Explorer 1 of 8 would be an item level 415. So we're going from 415 to 454. That's a lot. Adventurer track will start off at 467. Veteran track will start off at 480. Champion at 493. Hero at 506. And Myth track at 519. So your max level for Myth track is 528. And then there will be a new Awakened track, which will go from 493 to 528. And then the special items that are higher item level from the rare items from raids will go up to 535, in addition to Feralath being able to go up, and Nazaro to go up to 535. So your 2 legendaries will be on the Awakened track, and you'll get 2 more slots for those. That'll go up to 535, but everything else will go, Myth track will go 528. As far as raids go, so we're going to get all of our entry bosses are going to be 480 for looking for raid, 493 for normal, 506 for heroic, and 519 for mythic. And then all the way down to the end bosses will be 489 for looking for raid, 502 for normal, 515 for heroic, and 528 for mythic. So basically what that means is your whatever you have right now, unless you have full myth track gear, you'll be able to get replacements in LFR. So yeah, LFR is now useful again. So yeah, go ahead and run your raids, and it'll be 1 per week that's awakened, and it should show in the interface when you go to queue for LFR which one the Awakened Raid is. All right, and then, like I said, for dungeons, so the normal dungeons are going to drop Explorer 460, so it's Explorer rank 3 of 8. Heroic dungeons are going to drop 476, which is Adventurer 4 of 8. And then in the vault, we'll get 489 gear, which is Veteran 4 of 8. So that's really cool. It's a really good way to, if you don't want to run a bunch of dungeons the first week, but you say, well, I'll queue for a couple of heroic dungeons. It's fine. It's perfect. And then heroic dungeons, I believe we'll get Whelp crests. I'm not sure. We'll have to see. Mythic dungeons, Mythic Zero dungeons will award 493 gear, and 506 will be in the vault. So that's champion in the dungeon, and 506 hero gear in the vault. But they will give Drake crests. And for Mythic Zeros, just to clarify, there's no timer, there is no mob percentage, and there is no affixes. So, and you can change your spec. So it's basically just like running a Mythic dungeon normally, except the difficulty is going to be a little higher, and the rewards are going to be a little bit better. But you'll get Drake crests, and then from Mythic 2 to 5, you'll get Worm crests, and from Mythic 6 to 10, or 10 and above, you'll get Aspect crests. So yeah, as far as the spark crafting goes, so we'll get some new sparks. I'm not sure what they're going to be called, some sort of awakened spark type deal. Your 5 out of 5 for that is going to be 502. If you use a worm, enchanted worm crest, it's going to be 515. If you use an enchanted aspect crest, it's going to be 525. So you'll be able to get some pretty good crafted gear. It's just like Season 3, it'll be one upgrade track below the max level myth gear, so you'll be able to get your embellishments on gear or take what you already have and just upgrade it with the new sparks. But we should be getting a spark every 2 weeks. Starting next week, we'll get our first spark. So we won't be crafting anything until next week, but when we get to that point, it'll be pretty exciting. So I'm really excited about this season, not necessarily because of the content, but because of kind of seeing how they're going to set this thing up. Because I'm not opposed to having Season 4s as long as they do something to keep it interesting and make it like a greatest hits. Let me run through the raids. Let me just kind of get my gear and beef up for the next expansion. That's what Season 4 should be. It should not be a challenge unless you're trying to do heroic or mythic raid. Yeah, this is not the season for, oh my god, I'm progging on these bosses and it's so hard and No, this is the season for I'm going to chill and take it easy. I'm going to relax and have a good time. Now, one of the things that we don't know for Season 4 is what the outdoor world event rewards are going to be like. As of Season 3, we were getting veteran gear from the 3 quests in the Emerald Dream, and we were getting adventurer gear from the Time Rift and Dream Surge, and I believe the Farrak Assault as well would give adventurer track gear. Now, I don't know how that's going to look going forward. Adventurer track gear obviously is getting an item level update, but are we going to keep the Emerald Dream as our veteran gear income, or is it going to rotate based on which one the Awakened Raid for the week is? I'm not sure. Because maybe it'll be when it's Vault of the Incarnates, maybe we'll get it from the Feast and from Dragon's Bane Keep and from the Hunt. And then when it's Eberus, maybe we'll get it from the Dream Surge and from the Time Rift and from the Farrak Assault. We'll get veteran gear. And then when it's the Emerald Dream, we'll go back to the 3 quests in the Emerald Dream. I don't know. That would be pretty cool, but I do hope we have a way to get veteran gear from outdoor. A couple pieces a week. That's fine. Because I've got my alts, and because my main will be running some dungeons, and not sure who my main is going to be yet, but my main will be running some dungeons and getting gear, but I'll have some alts that I'll want to gear up, and it'd be nice to be able to get them veteran track gear. So it remains to be seen, but I'm really excited about Season 4. I'm really excited about patch 2.2.7 and the Mop WoW remix and the Harbinger quest line, and not really so much the Draenei and troll heritage armor, but still a lot of people are excited about that. So there's just a lot going on right now in just modern WoW. Forget about Burning Crusade. Cataclysm Classic that's coming out in 2 weeks, or next week. Next week is a pre-patch, and then 3 weeks after that. And forget about Season of Discovery, which is like just popping off. There's so much going on right now. And then we've got the War Within Alpha. We're eating well, kids. We're eating well. So, all right, that's going to be it for the Season 4 preview. Like I said, by the time you listen to this, servers will probably be live. But if you're kind of curious about what the different things, I have some charts that I've made in Microsoft Excel because I'm a nerd, and I'll tweet those out from my @Denethar Twitter account. So if you want to check those out, I will put those out onto the Twitterverse. All right, let's move on to the rant.
It's time for the weekly rant.
I don't have a rant this week, and in fact, I'm feeling so good about World of Warcraft for now. This is an anti-rant because, honestly, this is probably the greatest time for World of Warcraft that I've ever lived through. And I started playing WoW in around this time in 2005. So it's been almost 20 years for me personally, even though it's going to be 20 years for WoW this year. Next year will be my 20th anniversary in WoW. But this is by far the greatest time that I've ever been part of for World of Warcraft. We have so much going on. The team is listening to us, watching all of the videos that obviously there's marketing involved, but looking at all the videos that were out there for the War Within Alpha and the dev interviews, and they really care about this game. And the people that are involved, they really want the game to be good because most of them play the game. And so, I forget the guy's name now, but the guy who worked on the Delves, he's the leader of the Delve team. He was making that content because he's a mid-core player. And so he's like, well, I want content for me. So they said, hey, make mid-core content. Let's put this guy in charge of it because that's what he wants. So he basically made content that he's going to want. And the Delves look really cool. I know a lot of top-end players are kind of looking down their noses at Delves like, that's boring. And honestly, it's not for them. It's not for them at all. This is for mid-core players, people who need to play the game in small chunks, bite-sized portions. For me personally, I don't have time always to sit down to Mythic Plus. I don't have time always to sit down for a raid. I've gotten in raids before and had to leave because my dog started freaking out, or I had to go pick up my daughter, or whatever was going on. And I just don't have the time for that. I don't have the time for that commitment, at least not right now. I did in the past, but now I'm not at that place. So, but regardless, having content that's available for everyone, I really enjoyed the Outdoor World content. I really did. But the rewards just weren't there in Dragonflight. It just weren't there. But I really liked doing it and getting something. At least I was getting better gear, right? It just wasn't good enough. I want to feel like I'm progressing. I want to feel like I'm completing some sort of, like I'm getting somewhere. I don't need 489 gear or whatever, the 528 gear, whatever the new max item level is for this season. That's not what I'm looking for. But I'm looking for something that is going to give me, I want to feel good about my gear. I don't want to show up and somebody says, hey, why don't you come run a plus 20 with us? And I go, yeah, I have time. I'm going to do that. And then they look at my gear and they go, oh, never mind. I don't want that. I want to be able to have gear even if I'm not pounding high-end Mythic Plus 30 dungeons a week. I would like to be able to feel good about myself and my character. I want to feel good about my progression. I want to get to the end game. So I'm really happy with where things are with the game, with Delves. The new dungeon system, we're going to try it out in Season 4. We're going to see how it goes, but I'm really excited about that too, because the idea of being able to do a Mythic 0, I could say halfway through a Mythic 0 and go, guys, my dog is freaking out right now. Let me just go check on him real quick and I'll be right back. And nobody will die because, oh my God, we're going to miss our timer. No, it's just a Mythic 0, but we're going to get good gear as a result. That's what I've been looking for. That's the kind of thing I've been wanting out of World of Warcraft. I don't want to feel like I have to run high-end Mythic Plus or Raid, because I do love Mythic Plus. I just don't have the time for it right now. So anyway, but that's just part of it. It's the whole ecosphere of World of Warcraft right now. Holly Longdale has been doing an amazing job leading the team. The people that they have in place are all really strong. There was the layoffs a few months ago, and while unfortunate, honestly, it's kind of how business goes these days. So yeah, it's hard to move on past that and go, yeah, but those people, and it's like, yeah, that sucks. But I'm looking at this as a player and thinking, wow, this is a great time for WoW. And you know what? A lot of the people that got let go, even though they were surprised by it, they got let go because Blizzard had to trim down so that they could focus on what was the best thing for them, which in this case is the money that they get from World of Warcraft, because that is their cash cow. It will always be their cash cow. And not just because of, the people are paying the subscription. They've got the store. You've got people are buying boosts. There's so many things that are associated with World of Warcraft that make Blizzard money. And I am not opposed to Blizzard making money. I'm happy that Blizzard makes money, because the more money they make, the better World of Warcraft content we get. They put that money back into the game, and it's apparent by what we're seeing today. So, like I said, this isn't a rant. This is just I'm really feeling good. And I wanted to say something about this because I think there's been so much negativity on Twitter and on Reddit about the game, and the kind of, Blizzard is a multi-dollar company, and lol, Blizzard doesn't care about players. They do care. They really do. And even in Season of Discovery, which I am really not into right now, they care. They're trying so hard to make this work. And all I could do is appreciate that and look at it and go, you know what? At least they're trying. Because there have been times in the past where I was like, do they even give a rip about the players or the game? So if you're playing World of Warcraft right now, you're in a good time. And what is the new player experience going to be in the next couple of years? Because they are trying so hard to streamline and smooth out the new player introduction to World of Warcraft. So when somebody goes, hey, I got my friend, they're going to sign up. Is it a good experience, or is it what they went through in BFA, which is a jumbled, mumbled mess of nonsense? If it's good, those people might want to stay around, because honestly, it's a great game and it is in such a good shape. So yeah. All right. That's going to wrap it up for us today. Thank you so much for listening. Like I said, like I always say, it's always it's always a pleasure and a privilege to get on this hot microphone and mumble through my words as I try to talk to you. But seriously, I really appreciate you listening. I appreciate your time. If you're just picking up this podcast now and you're not sure about it, give it a subscription and, check out some of the previous episodes. Don't go too far back, though, because the old episodes are terrible. I listened to episode 1 again recently, and it's so cringe. I can't even... I have to leave it up there for posterity's sake, but it's bad, so don't listen to those old episodes. But yes, it's a pleasure and a privilege of mine to be able to get on here and talk to you, and I'd love to engage with you about World of Warcraft or the podcast or anything in general. You can contact me by email, denethar1@gmail.com, or you can reach me at Twitter. I'm at Denethar. You can also occasionally catch me streaming. I am Denethar01 on both Twitch TV and YouTube. And so that's it. So have a good week. Enjoy Season 4. Be nice to each other. Be patient, because people are going to be learning those dungeons again, or relearning those dungeons. So remember to smile. Remember to take a few deep breaths. And if you break a key, don't worry. It's only a +6. It's not a big deal. All right. Take care, all of you. Remember to smile. Be good to each other. Love you all. And I'll see you in Azeroth.